What's up, guys? Back with another video. Today we're talking about founder-led companies. So this has kind of been a reevaluation of priorities, especially within the stock market. And I've realized that one of the quickest, most efficient ways you can decide if you like a company is if you like the people running it. And obviously the CEO is the main person, the person with the most power running it. And if the CEO is also the founder, that adds to my conviction personally, because a CEO that's a founder has been there from the beginning. That's their baby, he or she, and they have a vision. And it's rare that somebody can be like a visionary, basically artistic, but also be a great manager. But when you do find that, I think it's just, it's just a huge competitive edge. Obviously Elon Musk is the example of that in our generation. We've also got Steve Jobs. A lot of the time, people can be great founders, have great visions, but ultimately not good managers of the company. And, sometimes those companies still go on and do great things, but the CEO a lot of time has to step down, who was the founder. And sometimes these companies can still do great things, but when you can find a CEO a founder that is also a great manager, I think that, a lot of the time those are the most powerful, innovative companies. There's endless examples of that. Microsoft, Facebook, Apple, Tesla, Nvidia. All of these were founder-run companies for the majority of their growth years, at least. So, with all that being said, I just wanted to briefly talk about some founder-led companies that I've been adding to lately in this stock market dip that we have had. So, number one is Tesla, which has been my largest position. So I'm just gonna, breeze right past that. Number two, Airbnb. It's still a pretty small position, but the founder definitely comes across as extremely intelligent, a workaholic, and that's actually something that I want in my founder CEO, is someone who is a workaholic, who can't help but to have work be, a massive part of their life. Elon Musk is another great example of that. He is clearly a workaholic. He's clearly addicted to running his companies and, solving problems. I get the same vibe from the Airbnb CEO. I don't have too much to say about this company. Obviously, we all know Airbnb. Lately, they've dipped a lot. They are facing some headwinds, some regulatory headwinds. Certain locations have been, disrupting their business with regulations. And so their growth has slowed, but they're extremely profitable. Tons of cash flow. So, I recently opened a starter position, and, if it goes lower, I'm going to keep researching, and we'll probably add more. Okay, another company I've been adding to is Shopify, which Shopify I have been researching for quite a while. I've been a little bit in and out of this stock. At one point, I opened my own Shopify store, so I know how powerful and how great of a resource it is for opening your own online store. Makes it so that anybody can do it pretty easily. And I've seen many interviews with the CEO, Tobias Lutke, I think his name is. And this guy is very, very smart, has a very unique way of thinking. Definitely a workaholic as well. Maybe not as much as the first two. But just, again, another great visionary and great manager. He says his passion was computer programming, but he actually was able to apply what he learned in computer programming to managing a company. He says there's a lot of parallels in between those two things. So just another great company, ran by a great founder. And Airbnb and Shopify, both of the founders are relatively young, definitely below 50. Okay, getting into probably my newest position, which I just opened today, and that is Duolingo. I think we all know Duolingo. It's really the best app to learn languages on. The company just turned profitable. I didn't know it was a public company until recently. Did some research on the CEO. Seems like a very smart guy. He was involved apparently in inventing CAPTCHA. So he's, that basically, I think of him as kind of an OG AI guy. Somebody who's been thinking and considering AI for, well before it was a trend in the past few years. And it seems like they're bringing some really innovative stuff to Duolingo with AI, being able to talk to an AI in different languages. So I think there's a lot of potential there with Duolingo, especially adding these AI features. And obviously there's only going to be more and more people wanting to learn languages, especially wanting to learn languages with software. And on top of that, being able to talk with an AI in these languages. I think Duolingo is really separating itself from the competitors, and will probably take more and more market share. Okay, what's next? Obviously Coinbase. I'm not really going to get into Coinbase. I've made a few videos about Coinbase, but Brian Armstrong has really run this company so well. Other companies come and go in the crypto industry, but Coinbase has been around almost since the beginning, and has done the slow and steady approach, and that's just worked out really well. So that's really it for Coinbase. I did open a position in Facebook. Obviously I'm kicking myself. I was looking at it when it was dipping, around $100. But I just think people underestimate Mark Zuckerberg. Again, another workaholic. Definitely on the spectrum. I think he gets super into his work, super into technology. Obviously he was obsessed with the metaverse, probably still is. But I think he's getting really into AI as well now. And, I don't know too much about it, but apparently, Meta's really impressed people with Llama, their competitor to ChatGPT. They're just bringing in so much cash. Mark Zuckerberg, I believe he owns well over 10% of the company still, and that's a massive company. And to me, that just shows a lot of buy-in. He's not going anywhere anytime soon. I think he is a visionary. Yes, there are some morally sketchy things about some of his companies. But that's just the world we live in. It's not just his companies, it's social media in general. And, ultimately, I think he's going to run these businesses and do well. So that's Meta. What else? That might be it. I guess we'll end it there. I think those were the main ones that I've been buying. I feel like I forgot one or two, but that's good enough for me. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you agree, disagree. I really do think founder-led companies is just a huge edge, as long as the founder obviously is a good manager and not just a visionary, which is rare, but when you find it, it's very powerful. And all of the greatest companies were run by founder visionaries that were also great managers. So again, leave a like, comment. See you guys next video.